everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ridhi. In case you're new here, welcome. And today I am going to talk all about my filming setup. I'm gonna take you behind the scenes of creating this magic. All the products and equipments that I will be talking about today in this video will be linked down below. I also have an Amazon storefront which I will leave a link to in the description bar. You can just go to my storefront and you can find all the equipments that I use in there. And just a little disclaimer, these links are affiliated, which means that I will be earning a little commission from these links. So starting a YouTube can be pretty hectic. Figuring out all the lights and equipments and camera, it takes a lot, okay? There has been no one guiding me on how to do the YouTube thing, the filming setup. No one in my family knows how to use camera. YouTube takes a lot of learning, So this I have all learned from YouTube itself. I watched a million of videos. First and the foremost, the camera. You don't really need to invest in a camera. These days, your phone can give you a great quality. They got 4K in your phone, so take advantage. Because honestly, lighting plays a much more important role than the camera itself. In case you're just starting out, start out with your phone. I did use my phone in few of the videos, and then I borrowed a Nikon camera from my Jeju, my sister's husband. He was not using it. It was, I don't remember the model name even. It was a really old guy, but honestly the quality from my phone was a lot much better than that camera itself, because your phones these days are really up to date. What I am using right now is the Canon EOS 90D. I love this. It is one of the top models right now, no doubts. Camera that I would recommend instead of the 90D, I myself would have got that, is the Canon M6 Mark II. Retails around the same price. I suppose that 90D retails around 90,000 and the M6 Mark II retails around 80,000. Why I would have chosen that is because that's a mirrorless camera, which means it's a lot more compact and smaller and weighs a lot more less, which means I could have also like vlogged with that, And if you want to save a little bit, I would recommend Canon M50, which is again a mirrorless camera. It again provides you with 4K quality and is amazing as well. And the last one that I would recommend is the Sony ZV-1. So the Sony launched ZV-1 as a vlogging camera, but a lot of people don't like to use it as a vlogging camera because it doesn't give you that wide view. When you watch vlogs, it sort of covers a lot of the area. This is what Sony ZV-1 will give you basically. But that is why it is perfect for the studio itself. It's a great camera, provides you with 4K quality. The lens that I'm using right now to film with is a very famous lens. You all must have already heard about it. It is the Canon EOS 50mm f1.8 STM lens. So this is a fixed lens. I can't zoom in or zoom out, but this is such a famous lens amongst YouTubers. Most of the YouTubers recommend you this lens, and honestly the quality is great, but I hate that I can't really zoom in and zoom out because I have to like physically move in front and move back. Now this is the Canon kit lens. This is the EOS 18 to 135mm. I would recommend just get the body and then the 50mm lens. Straight away skip on the kit lens because the quality of 50mm is much better. It's not very expensive either. Now there is a lens that I am eyeing on, but it's really expensive, more expensive than the camera body itself. So I don't know when that is going to happen, but it is the Tamron 24 to 70mm with a fixed f-stop of 2.8. So with the kit lens, you do not get a fixed f-stop, okay? It ranges from 3.5 to 5.6. So as soon as you reach the 135mm of zoom, your f-stop reaches to 5.6, which is bad. Let me just increase the f-stop on my 50mm and you can see the difference. See, as lens is focusing on this, I'm so blurry at the back. So that is what the lower f-stop, which is 1.8 right now, is giving you, right? Now I am at f3.5. This is what it does, okay? So f-stop, which is a aperture is basically the opening of the lens, right? So the lower your f-stop is, the wider the opening is, and hence it lets in a lot of light in your lens. Okay, see, I'm still blurry but not as blurry. Now I'm gonna go to 5.6 and I will go to ISO 800. 5.6, you can see me sort of clearly, which I don't like. Okay, now the Canon 50mm is meant for the Canon EOS EF mount, which means you can't use this lens on the Canon mirrorless cameras, which I am anyways recommending you guys to go with, because the world is shifting towards the mirrorless cameras, right? Someday they will make a 50mm lens for the mirrorless cameras as well. Obviously they might already have, I don't know, but what you can do is to buy an adapter EF to EFM mount. There are a lot on Amazon. I will leave a link to one in the description bar below. I receive so many DMs regarding my background. I don't receive this many DMs regarding my makeup. So what I have right now is a white cloth. It's basically a lycra, like a real stretchable. And then I have these RGB lights. You might have seen these lights on the Sabji Wala Redis. These are really inexpensive, okay? So I just have those two somehow stuck on those tripods that I have extra of. Earlier I just used to have one which I just used to place in the center itself, but now I recently got the second one and now I can have like different lights. So right now one RGB floodlight is at red and another one is at pink. You sort of get a remote with it, so let me just change it up. So now even this one is on red. Let me change it to blue. I can change it to green, and this way you just have to invest in one white fabric in your life and you can have any color background that you like. You don't have to keep buying different colored fabrics, because even like putting up fabrics is a real hectic job. It takes a lot of time and this is much less expensive than getting fabrics. Okay, now obviously I can't have it to turn black, so a black fabric is a great one, although I won't recommend this fabric because this is not a stretchy fabric. It gets creased pretty easily. This is the one I got recently. It's a really inexpensive fabric you can find anywhere. Honestly, I had a lot of expectations with this particular fabric, but it just didn't end up looking that great. It just sort of looked white. Right now it's showing off a lot of its color. This is the video. See, it's not as vibrant as I would have liked it to be. And you can play around, you know, like for example on this particular video you can see that I have this black fabric but I have fairy lights on it and it looks amazing. And obviously you can have a natural background. You don't need to invest in a background stand or the fabrics. Just a pretty corner of your house works beautifully as a backdrop. Now coming to the lightning, this part took me a lot of trial and errors. Now lightning in my opinion is the most important part and it's the most difficult part as well. It can go wrong real quick. I had to move around my lightning a lot in order to come to this position right now. So my camera is right at the center and the two lights are placed right besides each other. Don't put them too far away, because if you do, then it creates a lot of shadow on your face from either sides. So the closer they are, the better. And also don't place them too far high up from your camera, just a little bit up. Also, what you can do is to place lights right besides the camera, like at the same level your camera is, just one over here and one over here instead of going up. Even that works perfectly fine. And these lights are also angled a little bit down towards my face so that they actually hit my face, you know. So these are the only two lights that I use, and the rest are just these ceiling lights that I have that hit right on me from top. You don't want those tube lights, you know, because that again will create shadows from either side. You don't want that. You just want the lights that beam downwards, you know. Right now I'm filming with two lights, but earlier I was just filming with one light, which is this one. This is again from Osaka, but this is a 300 one. This one has 528 LEDs, whereas this one just has 300 LEDs. So this is a little less brighter than the 528, but trust me, it's equally as bright. So if you want to save a little bit of money, if you're just starting out, just get one of the Osaka LEDs. So it comes with a shoe clamp, I suppose that it is called, and your camera has that shoe hook again. So this part just slides right on top of your DSLR, and you don't even need a stand for your light. Now coming to the ring lights, I don't recommend ring lights because they are expensive firstly, and these LED panels are much more brighter. They give off a lot more light. These lights are LED lights, so they do not emit any heat. So these do come with diffusers, so you don't need any additional diffusers. If you think that they are too bright and if you need a diffuser, just get some of this like cloth. I think this is muslin cloth or like a chiffon. Just place it right on top of your LEDs and it will diffuse it for you if you think that your light is too harsh for you. Now these lights do come with their batteries as well. I don't recommend batteries because then you will have to like recharge the batteries again and again or buy additional batteries, which is a lot of headache. So instead I would just recommend you getting an AC adapter charger with it. So this just goes right into your LED, and this you just need to plug and your lights is running till the time you're filming your video. Audio is really important. Now what I am using is this right over here. So this is the Boya MM1 shotgun mic. So this actually goes right on top of your camera, but it just gets too far away. The audio isn't clear. So what I have done is to like place it on this gorilla stand right in front of me. So now my audio is louder as well as clear. It is not picking up on a lot of the background noises. It is mostly just picking up on my voice itself. So this mic comes with these cables. One is for your DSLR and one is for your phone, but this is just too short and my camera is real far away from my mic. So I just ordered male to male aux wire from Amazon. So that just goes right into my camera and it records my audio directly in my camera. I don't have to sync it later on and it just works perfectly fine. Now I also have this. This is again from Boya. This is the Boya M1 lavalier mic. So this just hooks right on. This goes right into your camera and records your voice. I have used this and honestly the audio quality in this is better than this in my opinion. The only problem with this is I forget to wear this. When I'm doing makeup videos, my makeup stuff is like pretty like far away from me. So I sort of have to get up from my seat and go and grab whatever it is. So I have to remove it then, right? And when I'm back with products, I sort of like forget to put it on again, and then the audio quality is really shitty. So yeah, this doesn't need any batteries. This one does. So yeah, just keep changing the batteries. It can just open up and you can just like buy a set of 9 or 10, whatever you can get on Amazon. Now what I am looking to invest in is a Rode Wireless Go microphone. Why? Because that is a lavalier mic, but that is wireless. So I will not have to worry about removing it and putting it back on again and again. The audio quality will be nice even if I speak from far away. But that again is really expensive. That retails around 19,000 I suppose. So yeah, really expensive for a microphone, but the quality on Rode microphones are amazing. Now usually it takes me more than 3 hours to film and the batteries of the camera does not support 3 hours of filming. So what you need to do is to have like a separate battery, which I do, but I wouldn't recommend that, okay? I would instead recommend buying a dummy battery. The benefit of that is that it connects directly into your power source. So your camera just runs for as long as you want it to run. I film at 1080p, which is full HD, although I can film at 4K with this camera. I'm not filming that right now because the laptop I own, which is the MacBook Air, and it's like a real old version, so it can't take a lot of load. So right now I am filming with the Samsung Evo Plus 128GB, or I would recommend the SanDisk Extreme, or this one, the Extreme Pro. I won't recommend you guys filming any lower than 1080p. No one watches anything lower than 1080p these days. 4K is the standard these days, but 1080p totally works. I think that my quality is great. Once I upgrade my laptop, I'm gonna upgrade my quality to 4K as well. Don't go with 16 GB, don't go with 32 GB, don't go with 64 GB. Just straight away buy 128 GB and you will be blessed, especially if you're filming in 4K. So this is how I am filming myself. I have my Canon software downloaded in my laptop itself, which is the Canon EOS utility. I can use Wi-Fi to sync my laptop to my DSLR. Connecting it with wire is much better and much more reliable, and it just connects to your laptop straight away. You can start shooting with it. So right now, as you can see, I'm filming at full HD, which is 1080p at 50 frames per second. Okay, so this is your shutter speed, which mine is at 1/100. So the rule for this is just have it double your frames rate. So my frame rate is 50 frames per second, right? So I will just have it at 100. F-stop just as low as you can go. I can go as low as 1.8 in this. I have my ISO at 125 right now. The lowest you can go is 100. I would recommend you guys keeping your ISO between 100 to 400. Don't go more higher than 400 because then you start to lose the quality of your video. If you think that you need to go more higher than 400, get more lights, okay? Also, I want to talk about the tripod my camera is on because that is really important. You don't want to place your camera on any cheap tripod. You don't want to risk your camera falling. So the one I have right now is the Osaka VC8800. What I like about this is that it can go really high up till 5 feet, I suppose, and this can like rotate 360 degrees, and also it can like pan up and down. So how I have my camera placed is a little bit higher up from my face itself and angled a little bit down at me. This way my face actually looks slimmer, you know. So again, all the products that I've talked about today will be linked in the description bar down below and will also be listed in my Amazon store front. Only the fabrics you gotta go out and buy, those aren't from Amazon. Rest all of these products are available on Amazon. In case you are thinking of starting a YouTube channel, I hope that I was helpful for you guys. In case you have any more queries or any more questions, you can let me know in the comments down below and I will make sure to answer those. Also, I want to remind you guys that there is a giveaway going on right now. So all the details of that giveaway is in this video right over here, which you can watch next. I will also leave a link to this video in the description bar below in case you want to enter the giveaway because it's a lot of ColourPop makeup, FYI. And that's it for the video, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video, learned something, and I will see you all next time. Till then, stay safe, stay happy. Bye.